remember I was so excited. I was like, I'm gonna show these guys. They don't even know. The Warcraft 3 gamers are the real gamers. I had that with the Stalker, Pogalisk. When I saw them introduce the Stalker and they had the little highlight clip and you saw them blink, I was like, oh, that's my unit. And it was for a while. But then I found the Phoenix. After I died to Mudalisk for 3 months straight, I was like, you know what? The Stalker is not my unit. The Phoenix, though, that's my unit. Uh, 15 years is crazy. Doing anything for 15 years is wild. Playing the same video game for 15 years
It is time
is
for
very
the
wild.
upper bracket finals, and Clem and Reynor are already approaching, already getting ready. No
I think this
jacket,
is going to be a
no
funny
more.
interview. Enjoy, guys.
He's warmed up, he's ready to, well, maybe beat some Terrans this time, we'll see. And yeah, I'm not gonna ask too much about strategies because obviously you guys don't want to spoil anything, but I'm wondering, you were already a few times in Poland, so I wanted to ask, what's your favorite memory, maybe a food, maybe Polish pizza that you tried in Poland, and how do you like there? What do you like here?
I'm just a big fan of Poland in general. I think the people are amazing. I think the food overall is amazing, but I don't have like a specific memory about food. I just think every time I was here, I had a great time overall.
Always good times, nice. What about you, Clem?
I like pierogis.
Okay, now that we know that, we can begin the upper bracket finals. It's gonna be
Okay, I hyped that interview up a little bit too much.
Liquid Clem. Let's go, guys.
That was not what I expected, guys. I thought we were going to have a little bit of banter about cyclones and that kind of stuff. Well, you know, they can't all deliver. But at least they got the Polish audience a little excited. If Cristiano against Lembo is being broadcasted anywhere, just let me know, guys, what's happening and if it's cool or not, because that's a pretty spicy match. Pierogis are pretty good. If anybody has no idea what a pierogi is, just think dumplings. They're basically dumplings, but then they have a little Polish twist to it. And they are good. They've got a lot of different versions. When we're going to do co-cast? Maybe tomorrow night? Is there a weekly tomorrow night? If there is a weekly tomorrow night, I am down to do a little co-cast. Pierogi, I like ravioli filled with potato. Yeah, but they've got like a million different types of pierogis as well. I know they have meat ones and cheese ones and potato ones. You always feel jealous when everyone gets a co-cast. It's because there's a redemption, mate. Anybody can co-cast with me. It's just a channel point redemption moment. Because otherwise everybody asks and then I have to say yes to some and no to others and then people get disappointed. So you have to keep it fair and level. Is that a real tattoo? It is absolutely a real tattoo. He's had it for a while, I think 2 years now. I think Katowice 2023 he already had it. Technically, you can make pierogis with anything you like. I'm not an expert. But I've had pierogis in Poland, and I was happy. What is it? A bit of everything. I think he just really liked the design. I don't know the deeper meaning of it, but... I think it's also supposed to be part of something bigger. I just don't know if he's going to finish it, or if he will stay with that, but... It looks very cool in real life. I like it. Alrighty. Let's do it.
Let's get it on.
This should be a banger, as they would say in Bulgaria. In the bottom left side, guys, the Italian stallion, the world champ of 2021. It is Reynor. Of course, representing Basilisk. He's fired up, ready to show the world what he would have been capable of. If he met this kid at the Esports World Cup in the top right side, the previous world champ. Whoa, we misclicked there, no, with the SCVs. Yeah, he's tilted. It is a Liquid Clem.
Liquid Clem. The guy everyone is talking about.
That guy. Very nice of Jonah to join us here for a little bit. What could we do without Jonah? That's not a thing, LTE Hunter. Because there are people who are sitting on 12 million channel points and then they can just redeem it all day, every day for everybody else. Then it becomes a bit silly. You want Reynor to win so he can recoup a little bit of the money that he lost? Well, that's going to be tough. The difference between first and fifth in the Esports World Cup was $170,000. So he would have to win this tournament approximately 56 times. If he wins this tournament 56 times in a row, he will make the difference. You just lost 1-2 and you got Jumi in the lower bracket. What tournament? I don't know what games, what tournament is running right now, Mixer. What are you guys playing in? I'm so confused. I heard Alex playing against Creator. Ah. Mixu, log in on Battle.net. I say hi, and the first thing I get is shut the fuck up. That would make me sad too. That would make me sad too. Uncalled for, Mixu. Unnecessary roughness. 10-yard penalty. Or a 10-minute penalty. The prediction is still open for like 10 more minutes. Honestly, I think I'm okay with just letting it run. There's so many points on the line, and I don't think it really changes anything if anybody takes a 1-0 lead here. Where are you watching it? Through Passion? Because I would love to put it on my phone. It's 20 yards for unnecessary roughness. Today I learned. 20-yard penalty for Mixu. Clem opening up with a triple Reaper, right? That is it. I don't think we have any additional Reapers on the way. Now it's 15 yards. Oh my goodness. You guys are just making it more confusing. How about we just make it a 10-minute penalty? Wouldn't that be something? Cheeky 10-minute timeout. Reynor wants a Reaper. Reynor won't get the Reaper. Not even with these grenades. Both queens very low. Honestly, Reynor's probably going to be very happy. There's no 4th and 5th Reaper showing up. Otherwise, this could have gotten pretty gnarly. Circling speed is done. Reynor looking for the surround. Should be able to get all 3 of the Reapers right. I think the link count is high enough with a little bit of queen support. Ah, that's actually well done by Clem. He pretended he wanted to go into the main base, so Reynor moved the links back into the main, and then he just turned around and he sent them home. We get a review on the penalty. There has been a flag on the field after Special said hi to Mixu. I'm gonna do the VAR. Taking a look at the chat logs. Clem is gonna lose his 2nd Reaper, and in the end we'll lose all 3. I don't know if he's too happy with what they got done. I feel like they didn't get a whole lot. We got a single drone. That's about it. Shout out by way to Frinkles for the Prime. You got a pickup and a Protoss. I don't know what that means, but I appreciate the Prime. Yeah, they did a lot of damage to the queens, but they didn't kill the queens. And obviously queens will just stay alive, gather energy. We can always drop a trench shields if we have to. But I don't think we have to. I think they will just very slowly regenerate back to full HP. So overall, I think this is a pretty good start for Reynor. Clem does have a 3rd command center. He's got a decent amount of marines already. I feel like Reynor should be able to be greedy. I know it's been a little while, but right before the Esports World Cup, we had a weekly where Reynor also showcased some of the Zerg versus Terran styles that he's very fond of right now. And that basically includes delaying the banelings for a very long time, if not forever. So we're just going to rely on a crap ton of links. We're going for some run-bys, we're going for some surrounds, and it's basically Link, Queen, Infestor, straight into Ultras, and then only much, much later, when he's very rich and the entire map is covered in creep, he will add the banelings. He will not do this against everybody, but he feels that this is a good style to play against Clem, since Clem is too freaking good in sniping banelings, slow or fast, that he actually thinks it's worth skipping the banelings against Clem. I'm curious to see if we get to see some of that. Overlord gets picked off immediately. Queen count is really high. Looks a little bit like the Snoot against Beyond Days. Just lots of lings and queens. Test. Testing. I'm just suggesting that you and I may not be the best thing. Banger. Absolute banger. Some of you guys should know that. I mean, Clem obviously has played against it and has lost against it. So if he wants to switch it up, he can. I am sure that if Reynor sees enough of a switch up, he can always switch it up himself. I'm just telling you guys what Reynor has said in an interview and what Reynor has said to me. I'm not making it up. These are Reynor's words, not mine. If you want to argue with Reynor his own words, that's fine. I too sometimes wake up and think I know better than the world champ. In any sport, honestly. You look at these guys drive F1 cars and I'm like, well, know what I would do. Clem is going to seriously push this bottom right side, and it's honestly going to be very difficult for Reynor to deal with. Especially here on Ultra Love with that debris still up. So Reynor will just go for a big counter attack. Gets a couple of the SCVs. Reynor is going to sacrifice that hatchery in the bottom right side. For a split second there, I thought about going for it with the Bailings, but Bailing speed is still pretty large, a long ways off. Honestly, this is not going anywhere at this point for Reynor. Like, yeah, he got some SCVs, but losing a bunch of queens, losing a lot of Zerglings, not really having a quick hive. 8 racks on Ultra Love. It's like a truck. It hits like a truck. And Bailing's obviously very late. Like, Bailing speed, minute 9. We're gonna try to get Burrow. It is still 4 bases against 3, but Clemson has so much. Reynor goes for a big counter, and if the depot is not raised, this could be the great equalizer. There is a tank somewhere. That tank, where is it? I don't know. Okay, it's in the main. That tank has its work cut out for it. And actually, we're gonna get into the main base as well. So now even this tank is in a bit of trouble. This was a lot of links, so Reynor definitely needs to get a lot done here. He clicked on the depot there. That was a bit of a misclick. At the same time, Bailing's on creep, at the edge of creep, looking for connections. Starting to find some connections. Not too bad. It's actually very good, man. Look at the chaos. In the natural, in the main, in the third. Clem leaving the doors open there is really hurting him. And obviously it's impossible, even for Clem, to micro to perfection on the other side of the map. This game looked mighty fine for Clem for a little bit there. But the lowered depot is painful. Calls down for depot as well there, but it's not in time to actually save that burning depot. There's another depot burning. A couple of mules that are going to probably get picked off immediately. Bailing's in the mix as well. Well, this game looked a little grim for Reynor. But a good old-fashioned counterattack that life would be proud of. It's basically sealing the deal here. 1700 minerals in the bank. We may want to try to spend that. Ooh, I don't think we can save the Orbiter anymore, right? Can we drop a mule? Is there a world where we can save it? Oh, he burrows the Zerglings as well. The Orbital is going to burn down. SCV not in time, and that will do it. Reynor takes the 1-0 lead in the Battle of the World Champs. What a run by. Clem will be kicking himself for that. Like, losing a few SCVs in the third is obviously a bit annoying, but if you take a good fight in the bottom right, you kill a base, you kill some queens, you're going to be happy with it. But leaving the doors to the natural open, just open the floodgates to hell. Reynor looks at the camera and says, yeah, guys, that's all me. You guys betting against me? Is that Lenny the Zergling, guys? Would you rather win an EWC tourney or race one F1 race? Of course I would rather win EWC. What am I going to do with racing one F1 race? I'm going to start that car, I'm going to bin it in corner 1, and I'm going to be out. I'm going to feel terrible. I'd much rather be immortalized in EWC. What kind of a question is that? Live did his best to kill the competitive SC2 scene. Maybe don't name drop him. I don't know who you think you are to tell me what I can say or who I can name drop. Like that's definitely a take, mate. And no, that is also a very incorrect statement. Live is one of the best StarCraft 2 players of all time. And all the games that he ever won, he won fair and square. Just because he made a couple of very poor decisions doesn't mean he never played a good game of StarCraft. And it's very weird to pretend like he didn't. Roddy's neck is probably not strong enough to drive F1. Absolutely. Like, if we're cheating to win, that is a problem. But the wins were fair and square. Bottom left side of Persephone. We are looking at the main base of the Italian Stallion, a previous world champ. It is Reynor. Top left side of Persephone. Looked good in game 1. It was a Terran map. To be fair, I always feel like this is a good Terran map as well, even though everybody disagrees. It is Clem. Maybe it's because the girls is 3 supply and they really just don't want a turtle. But we've sent out the boys. They're like, you know what? It's been a long day. They have spent the last 24 hours together. We don't know what has happened in what has been discussed. What took place in those 24 hours. I love it when people try to lecture me on StarCraft history. That is amazing. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. Alright, guys. StarCraft 2 was so popular. Not 1, not 2, but 3 barracks, guys. Being proxied. 3 racks. Is Clem a little tilted after leaving those depots lowered? Sending out the boys. The win rate of this strategy is incredibly high. I already answered you, Stevie. I said win EWC, of course. Come on. What kind of a question is that? Of course I would want to win EWC. I don't know anything about patches. We have a spine crawler going down immediately. Reynor obviously does not know that this is 3 wrecks instead of 2. Oh, does get a surround of one of the Marines. Has lost 2 drones. That's a bit painful, but getting a surround is massive. Honestly, Clem's micro is not as clean as I feel like it could have been. It is a lot of drones dying, but losing this many Marines this early, bunker not done yet. I really don't understand how you can get very excited over this if you're Clem. And I don't think Clem is very excited over it either. Even though Reynor obviously needs to be careful that he doesn't lose all the drones. Losing 6 is a bit painful, but this has been a massive investment on the side of Clem. The Lincoln is quite high. The spine should be done right based on the minimap. Yeah, and Clem knows that this is absolutely not gone the way that he planned. Reynor was decisive in his defense. Pulled the drones immediately. Was able to surround a couple of the Marines. Clem might just leave soon, man. Honestly, I feel like this has been enough of a disaster that Clem is considering leaving. Does he have any firepower at home? We have 0 DPS at home? I think we have absolutely 0 DPS, right? This is the one Marine that could have maybe made it to the other side of the wall, but it's not gonna make it. Is there one Marine that is in the main? I thought this is it. No, I think Clem is kind of dead, man. I mean, this is gonna take forever now. Oh, he's gonna... Maybe he has landed the barracks again. He's gonna rebuild all the Marines. And then just click it into the natural. But this is so bad for your economy. I think Clem is kind of cooked. I understand the idea here for a split second. Like, what if we can get a whole bunch of Marines out? I can maybe surprise Reynor and actually deal a lot of economic damage, but... It's not going to work. The spine has crawled all the way forward to the edge of creep. Decent micro obviously this time around, but honestly there's nothing to get very excited over. Reynor is even taking the gold. What a gamer! What a gamer! I mean, the crisis management decent here in the end. Maybe we spam cyclones from here on out. What if, when we are with our back up against the wall, yes, yes. All right, bit of a rough start, but you know, nothing that the cyclone and a couple Hellions can't fix. Clem has no idea that Reynor has gone up to 3 bases at the gold. He may be expecting it, but Reynor doesn't have Zergling speed on the way yet. That's actually kind of cute. He's thinking out all the drones as well, so Reynor is going to be able to saturate that gold rather quickly. Reynor's making a lot of links. Should probably start Zergling speed. He'll start it immediately. Could even potentially Baneling Boss, but that's a little bit risky. Because if the Hellion count gets up to 4, that can obviously backfire. I wouldn't quite call it fantasy GG timing. It looked really bad for Clem for a little bit, but he did a good job in not letting it escalate any further, and now he's playing mech. You know, if Reynor makes one really bad attack with 30 Zerglings and a couple Banelings, the Hellions could cook, and they could counter and could be devastating. Just having a shit ton of links. The Rogue Baneling boss, if you're talking about the Rogue Baneling boss on ley lines against Cure, I think that was a bit different, right? Because that was a very bad start for Rogue. Rogue was forced to cancel the 3rd after that Marine bunker opening. Like, different game. Different setup. Different scenario. Baneling busting from a desperate position or Baneling busting from a position where you feel like you can just end the game and get it over with are obviously not the same thing. Solar did early GG timings. Honestly, I can't think back of a single game where I thought Solar left too early. Reynor is definitely playing a tiny bit of a risky game here. Like, he's just very convinced that this is the way to close out this game. Reynor is the previous world champ. He does have vision with his Overlord as well. If this goes wrong, he's actually in trouble, as he's down 6 workers now. He does have a ton of Zerglings. He has a lot of Banelings as well. First 2 Cyclones are here. We're going to drop Transfuse on the spine, try to keep it alive a little bit longer. The power of the Queens. Here come the Lings and Banes on the other side of the map. We don't even need to Baneling boss yet, because the depots are lower. Clem uses cooldown for depot, but that depot is just going to die as well. And Clem is going to have to bring all the units back to the other side of the map. But it doesn't really matter how good your splits are. We do have Blue Flame. Slow Banes are going to try to connect. It is hard for Banelings to connect. It's a lot of dead SCVs already. But honestly, so far, it's a lot of damage. But this is something that I think Clem could still technically survive. And we do have Blue Flame Hellions. The Banelings really need to start connecting with more SCVs or more Hellions. Oh, Reynor. This was in the end not to play, guys. Now the doors are still open. We have another Baneling. That's a few extra Marines, but Reynor needs more than this. 4 Banelings. Oversaturated middle line. Here come the Banes. Are those the connections Reynor is dreaming of? Oh, very good splits. Very, very good splits. Obviously, in the end, we do get a bunch extra. And instead of 35, 36 SCVs, Clem falls all the way down to 21. 26 worker lead on the side of Reynor. Clem still has not seen the gold. Do we still have that spine, by the way, or did the spine die? Honestly, never underestimate 4 Cyclones with Macfield and a couple Hellions with Blue Flame. The spine is dead. Clem is now going to check, maybe. Clem is very close to seeing the creep at the gold. Reynor is thinking of a surround, but Queens will melt like no tomorrow. Reynor is going to need a sexy surround. We have a few units coming in as well. Reynor looking for the surround. Blue Flame Hellions. Blue Flame Hellion shots are pretty damn good. In the end, it's just a couple Cyclones. More links coming through the speed zones. I think it is barely good enough for Reynor. Reynor needs to start spending his money. I'd love to see him build 5 Queens as well. Uh-oh. Clem is now going to find the gold. If Reynor loses all the drones here, he's actually in trouble. Reynor's got money, but he can't spend it quickly enough. I think the Roach one has finished up. Here come the links. Is the links around good enough? Aliens are well tucked in. Cyclone's pretty tanky. Cyclone's very tanky. Nice micro by Clem. Oh, we're gonna use the speed zones again for a surround. What a weird fight with all these acceleration zones. The drones are helping as well. We're now pulling drones into not one but two blue flame aliens. It is a cleanup. It is a hold. I think the lair is done, right? Yeah, lair is done. Few more aliens show up. Reynor absolutely does not want to lose even more. Supplies look good for Reynor. He's got time. I'd love to maybe see an infestation pit. I guess he's a bit low on gas right now. I guess that happens if we lose 40 banelings. And after losing all the Hellions and Banes, Clem feels that he is just too far behind and he leaves. Work accounts were not that bad there, but I guess after losing all the map presence, he feels that it just wasn't doable anymore. He's got no army, right? Takes a little while to rebuild it all. 19 army supply against 61. Cyclones are really good, but that's a lot of roaches. We have no tanks. 2-0 for Reynor. Not bad. That is not bad at all. I mean, Clem thought it was over. Reynor looks like a poker player with the hat. Is this the finals? This is the upper bracket final. It's not over yet. They are playing best of 5. The winner of this match guarantees themselves a top 2 finish and, of course, a slot in the grand finals later today. Everything will be played today. The loser is going to have to play against either Mana or Cristiano or Lambo. What's the score between Cristiano and Lambo right now, guys? A little upset, Crambine, but not a massive upset. Somebody asked me about it earlier, and it's not a massive upset. Like, Cristiano is a really good PvP player. Europe is full of PvP, of good PvP players. So obviously, it's not crazy if SOS beats Cristiano, but Cristiano beating SOS is not a crazy upset. You can call it a minor upset, but not more than that. Round 3 so far, very impressive by the Italian stallion.
Round 3. Fight.
That was way too loud. We are watching a VOD, Kavi. Everybody decided to join me for a little VOD session on the Sunday night. In the bottom right side, please no spoilers. We're looking at the main base of the Italian stallion representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. Top right side, we are looking at the main base of the French Terran. Down 0-2. The proxy 3-Rex did not get it done, and Persephone, it is Clem. Type 1 if you're losing a crap ton of points. Can't believe it. This series isn't even live and you guys still got the score wrong. Honestly, I appreciate the honesty, guys. No, it's live, Coffee. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like definitely someone is streaming it, but I asked earlier and I don't know where people are watching it because I really don't know. Who is casting Cristiano Lambo? Because I'd love to keep an eye on that. Spoiler, Serral wins it all. That'd be impressive. He's not here. Enki. Is Enki a Finnish caster or is it English? Mexican? Wow. I was close, right? Spanish. Spanish. What's in it? Enki Alexander. Okay. Enki Alexander. Lambo Cristiano. Oh, Cristiano is up 2-1. It's impressive. Cristiano is having a good run. Like, I don't know if this is a hot take. And the 17 diehards who think they know better can let me know. But I actually think Cristiano beating Lambo is a bigger surprise than Cristiano beating SOS. That is going to be my very mild hot take for today. 3K isn't enough for Serral to get out of bed. That's not really true. Serral has gone to smaller tournaments than this. It more has to do with the timing. On top of that, maybe Serral was just convinced he was going to win EWC. And he knew he had to stay in Saudi Arabia for another 2 days to have dinner with the prince. All the champs have the opportunity. It's not forced, but you have an opportunity to have dinner with the prince. But Serral would absolutely go to a tournament like this if it was in a very quiet month. If this was the only thing that was happening, Serral would come. Has nothing to do with the prize money. It's just that he probably didn't want to do back-to-back events. because he doesn't like traveling that much. Does being on the same team mean Serral and Reynor train together? Well, it's a bit awkward if they could potentially be their biggest rivals as well, but they have been very good friends for a long time. They have discussed, especially Zerg against Protoss and Zerg against Terran, for a very long time with one another. When it comes to ZVZ, that's obviously the one thing that, you know, they'll probably hold one or two things back, because they know that it's very likely they'll run into each other on the biggest stage, as they both know how good they are. But they are good friends, and they have been helping each other forward for a long time. Perfect opportunity to host a $341 show match. Fuck Darren. That's enough to summon Serral for a single best of 5, I'm sure. Torches is a map that does allow a few very gnarly liberated tank pushes. It is, by the way, of course, worth mentioning that Lambo's had a very uncomfortable last 24 hours. But, you know, I'm still like, he looked pretty good in the games that we've seen so far. Can't say he didn't look good. I'd be very impressed if Christiana can take him out. I know Protoss is good, yada yada. Still would find that an impressive result. Reynor said earlier about the ZVZ that he's going to turn off his brain and he will just cook up something. And if he doesn't know what he's doing, Lambo doesn't know what he's doing. I don't know if that's the same approach we have over here in Torches, or if this is something that Reynor has been working on. Now, I am not really the one who picks players, Fuka. Trigger was actually the first player to join Basilisk, so it wasn't like we had a roster and then Trigger joined. I discussed things with Chris and Hans. That was even before I was an official member. And they just asked me about exciting up-and-coming players. Somebody who had potential but hasn't really quite made it yet. So I obviously mentioned a whole bunch of guys. And one of them was Trigger. They took a look at all of them. And they were very excited about Trigger. And then they decided to talk to him. And they got more excited. And then they made him an offer. And when Trigger joined Basilisk, he was pretty good, but he was not a top 16 player in the world. He has made it now to the Esports World Cup. And of course, there will be two diehards who say, yeah, but if you win the American qualifier, you're not top 16 in the world yet. Sure, you can make that argument, but I also think we can all agree that Trigger is very good. And he has definitely improved a lot under the Basilisk umbrella. It was a shame that he couldn't really show that at the Esports World Cup. Obviously, the games against Maru were a little bit rough, and playing against Shin on such a big stage is just difficult. Like, the Korean Zergs can be so aggressive. They'll show up with so many freaking units. But I still think he can be very proud of making it to the biggest event of the year. Yep, also qualified for the GSL, won a series. Did Clem ever get approached for Basilisk? No. Clem is obviously fantastic, but if you're on Liquid, you're pretty good. I'm very confused about this game, I'll be honest. And I'm also answering a lot of questions in the chat, but I will let chat do the expert analysis on this one. We're 7 minutes in. I see a bunch of slow Zerglings and a lot of Evolution Chamber blocks trying to keep the Hellions out. I have a hard time believing this is going to go amazing for Reynor, but I would love to be wrong. I agree, Lura. Like, I was just playing devil's advocate, right? Because I know how diehards react to things I say. So the moment I say, he made it to the World Championship, he's top 16. I know there's someone like, yeah, but he won the American qualifier. That's the weakest region. So I was just beating them before they could say it. I'm very proud of Trigger. I think he has a lot to be proud of. And he was the official first member of Basilisk. And that is how they got to it. Chris and Hans, the owner, the founder and the co-founder, they saw a lot of potential in him. They believed in him and they wanted to support him in his journey. So that is how we got there. And that is where we are. All the boys were pulled to the front lines for a split second. The boys have now disengaged. Reynor is holding this choke point rather well, but just spamming corrosive balls, but still feel like eventually you're gonna have to fight a lot of marines and a lot of tanks, and that's gonna be very difficult with a couple of zerglings and roaches. And Reynor's army is big, but there's so much firepower in Clem's army. Reynor has a counterattack right now. The depots are lowered again, guys. The depots on the side of the map. Observer. Or they were just... I mean, he could have killed the depot, obviously, but they were lowered. You guys can see it. That is actually kind of painful. Now Clem forgot about his tanks. Ay caramba. Reynor is picking Clem apart with the Roach counterattack. Roaches run into the main base. Roaches run into the natural. Clem forgets about his tanks. Well, and now this game looks incredibly grim. Is this the clean sweep? Well, well, well. That's a lot of Roach Ravager left. Marines are going to try to do their thing, but with no tanks to fall back to. +1 attack against +1 carapace. This is obviously going to be very difficult. And even if Reynor doesn't kill Clem here, Clem is on 2 bases. Clem is on 17 SCVs. So I do think that tank on the high ground is getting some good shots in. And that large marine army that we were once upon a time looking at is no more. It's a lot of medevacs left over, but the medevacs have absolutely no energy at all. Strong counter by Reynor, second time in the series that Clem, his depots were lowered. This time obviously the roaches would have gotten in anyway. Like, roaches are not like lynx, they actually have burst damage, so they could have gone the depot down. But it obviously makes Reynor's life a lot easier if he doesn't have to waste a single second and he can just get in there immediately. Clem threatened to drop into the main base, decides to unload at the third, but he realizes that he's just too far behind. What a performance by Reynor! Again, showing us that he was a real contender to win it all at the Esports World Cup. Unfortunately, lost that nail-biting best-of-5 against Serral. But this was strong. A little over a month ago, I want to say it was, Reynor got a 4-0 victory over Clem. In one of the weeklies, he gets a 3-0 now on LAN. That's big, man. Did not think it was going to be 3-0. I thought that, you know, I don't know how they're feeling. I don't know where their mentor is at. I figured it was going to be very close, and you guys know that I pretty much always pick Reynor. I would have not picked a 3-0. That's pretty crazy. 43% believed in Reynor, 57% believed in Clem. 2.2 million against 1.7. Let's take a look who the big winners are. Zedada, a fruit seller. Mixu, a believer. And Oak, and Norbest Best, and Blue Hair. Congrats, guys.